Well, it's been another week, and another episode of The Bad Batch has just dropped. And boy, was this one a good one. It started off, I think, pretty much with arguably one of the best ideas I've ever seen for The Bad Batch. Namely the fact, as we know in episode 12, Crosshair shot an Imperial officer and then was transferred to most likely the same Shadow research facility that's cropped up several times before in Season 2. And it turns out for a fact that the lead, or the research head of this facility, needs Crosshair's intelligence for, well, as a means of getting to Omega. However, Crosshair is not going to give up his brother so easily. He might have done then, but now he has his own doubts about the Empire. And he actually even tries to make an escape of it and send a transmission, which was, I think, just the fact of just how tough this clone is. He was tortured, he breaks free, kills several stormtroopers whilst recovering from torture, stands the, I want to say lab technician, but I'm not sure what role she has in the lab. I think one of the scientists, so he can escape. And manages to send a piece of a transmission, but then other stuff also happens, such as, for example, meanwhile, the Bad Batch are enjoying a life away in peace. Hunter and is pretty much almost becoming a valuable member of the community. Helping out in the port with, I think, fishing. Wrecker has discovered a new hobby in fishing. And that's by the fact he has to assume he's jumping in the water and messing with the fish. And the mayor tries to convince him to stay permanently. But staying in one place is an occupational hazard for a soldier. But also, I think the best bit, about the early episode was the fact of Tech teaching Omega how to fly a shuttle. She's actually quite good, all things considered, at flying, which only makes the either she's naturally gifted for flying, or Tech's a good teacher, but Omega, I think, he does terrify her a bit. And the flight is a short but very eventful, and Tech is probably scared out of his wits by Omega's reckless flying. And she even does one of his manoeuvres during the flight, which was quite nice. I think the other thing, but the best bit about the whole episode, outside of Omega proving to be a gifted pilot, of at least Shuttlecraft, was the return of Rex and Echo. I was looking forward to this ever since he left, and now he's done back, because it turns out the Empire has been shipping clones off to the same lab for research experiments. What nature it is, I don't know. But these are the best clones available, and it might lead into other Star Wars shows. The best bit, and it was a short but sweet action sequence, and it just goes to the level of dedication that some Imperial officers had. We know for a fact a clone assassin committed suicide, but the fact that Imperial officers have the same electronic suicide device in his teeth, and he used it at a point of capture, tells for the fact that Dr. Hemlock, as he's now named, is either that scary, or that inspiring, or just the fact that the Empire's been able to drum something inside certain personnel, not to commit suicide in the event of capture. And we had a short space battle, which was quite good. And then Echo came back to the Bad Batch. And Hunter, and I think Echo was ecstatic, or rather Omega was ecstatic to see Echo. And I think even Tech has to admit, and even Echo has to admit, the fact the place there is remote, but also quite tranquil. And I think the man was a little bit concerned about the fact the Empire's showing up. But besides that, it's quite good to see. I think we also got a new ship as well. That was quite good about this episode, another new ship. And the Gazanti-class cruiser in the action sequence was incredibly well greebly, given the fact that the plane, well, we go on Rebels, compare it to now, it's very greebly. But that, and it sets up neatly, given the fact that what Echo did was he tried to steal some information about a force that was being developed at the time. And we learned a couple of things about Dr. Hemlock, and the fact in the days of the Republic he was thrown out of the Republic Science Corps for his unorthodox research. They say unorthodox, which most likely probably means a polite way of saying the fact that this guy has some very, very questionable ethics about experimentation. And we also know for a fact just how controlling he is. The fact that Crosshair was able to mount a bid for freedom, and the fact he said, "You will leave when I allow it." Well, you'll have to allow it anyway, mate, because the fact the Bad Batch are going to show up, are going to be coming to the rescue, or be captured. I think the best thing about the whole episode is it's building up to the climax. They're taking leaf out of what made Andor such a good show. 3 episodes. Build up, set up, and then climax. I think that was the best bit about the whole thing. And the episode was exceptionally well-rounded. I mean, it was short, but sweet, and that was the main thing for me. Omega is now happy again, after losing Echo, and they're having a decent, reasonable, well-rounded life. The fact that it's also nice to think the Bad Batch, at least for a little bit, was able to not have to worry about blasters and just have a little bit of normalcy in life. But I just wish the fact that maybe V showed up in the episode, but she's probably off hunting No, wait, didn't she? I think she'd probably be in the Bad Batch for that, because they've got a ship and 4 of the best, 3 good gunfighters, plus a kid who's tough as nails would probably come in very handy. But that was nothing compared to, I think it's the big reveal and the fact it's building up to the climax. The next 2 episodes are pretty much going to be trying to get Crosshair out, and they'll either get captured or they'll pull the escape. But I think we're seeing exactly what's going to happen. This is probably, I think, where Snoke and this other research came from. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to explain how everything works and how it all came about, while trying to improve upon what was done there. They've just got to get it done right. I mean, in general, it's been a good showing of Star Wars and Star Wars, the Old Republic, and Star Wars, especially like pre-Empire era. A story point that I've all... like post-Order 66, just immediately afterwards. It's always been nice to see, and Tarkin has been dismissive, and I think just in general, the level of loyalty that the Empire can inspire in its personnel is certainly something else. I'm not sure they're doing it, but it is very good, and it just shows the fact how sinister the Empire will become. Legends of the Empire was pretty sinister, but I think in canon they're bungling it up, and I like that quite a fair bit. And I hope we get more of it as the show goes on. That's all I'm saying. And if they do another one, I just hope it's just well rounded. And with that, I've been the Universal Challenger, asking you to please leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't catch you on the next one. Cheerio!